Hi, it's me, Lala, the Shrinking Lady, and welcome to another episode of the Bari-Fabulous Life. And today I'm going to do a cooking demonstration of a vegetarian cheesesteak zucchini boat. As you see, I've got my main ingredients right here. This is going to be a single serve or a serving for two, because half zucchini today, half zucchini tomorrow, or half for you and half for a friend, however you want to divvy that up. So the analog or vegetarian meat substitute I'll be using today is Gardine's meatless ground, which is another way of saying ground beef. You get a chance to see the texture. It's texturized. It's sold frozen. You can cook it frozen just like you do ground beef, or you can let it thaw out some. It's got a good texture, has a good flavor, takes seasoning very well. There's 3/4 of a cup in a single serving. Fantastic protein. Very low carb. And then I've got a peppers and onion blend. Buy it out of the frozen section. Again, do everything at Walmart. This is Great Value brand, but you get the brand you choose. And good old-fashioned shredded mozzarella cheese. You can also get the Italian blend, which is really good as well, also at Walmart. So we're going to start by cutting the ends of our zucchini and then cutting him in half. Simple enough. Now I've got a plate and a spoon already over here because I'm going to show you quickly how we cut this bad boy, or how we make our boat. And you just scoop with your spoon. It's gonna feel weird to do when you first start doing it because you won't know how much pressure to apply or any of that. When you get to a thicker part, you just go a little slower. And if you lose an end, like I just did there, it's no big deal. You just continue to scoop until you get the majority of the zucchini flesh and pulp out. And there we have a nice sitting zucchini boat. And I am OCD and I like everything even, so I'm going to take and even off the end. So I have a nice even little zucchini boat. Don't worry, I'm going to do the same to the other side. And me, if you can get your vegetables cut in half perfectly, you are a G. Because I never can do that. There's always one side bigger than the other. It's just my plight in life. This is a quick dinner or a quick lunch, single serving, or you can treat it as a meal prep and save half for the next day. And since this is one of the more sizable zucchinis, and I didn't cut it in half very well, which I never can seem to do. I have special needs in regards to being able to cut my vegetables in half for some reason. You can take this, because it is a long one, and half for today, lunch, half for dinner, or half for dinner tonight, half for dinner tomorrow. Put the top back on, eat it kind of like a little sub sandwich, and make yourself a cheesesteak zucchini sub. The key is you want to get as much of the zucchini flesh out as you possibly can. Why? You don't want zucchini in your cheesesteak mix. It's real simple. And you can always save this for use in other recipes later. I don't. I simply trash it. I'm not going to lie to you. You can say if you're planning on the only reason I would save this is if I was planning on making zucchini bread, and wouldn't you know, he broke, which actually works out kind of perfect, because then I can size them, and now they're both evenly sized, and boat it out. Now that we have our boats, stick around, and in the next segment of our video, I'll be showing you how to cook up your peppers, followed by your cheesesteak. Then we'll get these bad boys in the oven to a broil. So stay tuned. And we are back. Guess what? Lala the Shrinking Lady has new equipment, new angles. I'm so ridiculous, but y'all knew that. So we're over here at our skillet, which I'm going to get ready and get heated up. And while we're preheating our skillet, and I like to preheat it to about 250, just going to briefly go over the seasonings that we'll be using. But the Sazon, I only like to use the Sazon Complete. As you see, very little left because I use it a lot. We'll also be using roasted garlic and red pepper, bell pepper seasoning, and some liquid smoke. Because this is vegetarian, you want to give it that, you want to beef up the beefy taste. So we're going to hit it with a little bit of olive oil. Pan coated. It's so nice to be able to have use of both my hands while I'm recording, instead of having to hold a phone and maneuver around it. And I can sit and be comfortable. This is nice. I like to start off with cooking my peppers. And again, just to remind you, it's 3/4 of a cup of your peppers and onions. I'm going to stand up here so I can get a little better handle on this cooking. And I'm going to hit it about a teaspoon of Sazon and a teaspoon of red bell of the roasted garlic and bell pepper seasoning. And I'm going to turn it down to just simmer. We're going to let our peppers get good and simmery. That's the word. Simmering. Cover and let it simmer. And while it's simmering, just going to talk to you about your oil choices briefly. Have a seat again. So this is Pompion, and this is the extra virgin olive oil. I always recommend that your olive oil be first cold pressed and extra virgin, solely because that is the healthiest version of this oil. You're getting all of the nutrients, all of the health value out of the first cold pressed extra virgin. If it's not that, I would not recommend using it to cook with. And talk a little bit more about liquid smoke. Liquid smoke is a slow smoked flavor, liquid flavoring. So even if you're cooking with regular meat, cooking with a strip steak, a flank steak, and you want to get a little bit more of the smoky flavor that you like, but you are not using a smoker to do so, this is going to be your best friend. And because it's not much, it's not going to take long for them to get good and happy. As you see, they're already soft. I like mine with just a little bit of crunch to it. I'm going to turn our skillet back up. Turn it back up from the simmer back to about 200. And we're going to go ahead and add our meatless brown crumble. And do you see the texture that I was talking about? It already comes with the texturization of ground beef. So you're really not doing true cooking per se. You're more so warming it, but this is where the liquid smoke flavor comes in play. Because a little goes a long way. And it gives you that flavor and that seasoning that you're looking for. And you do have to pay attention when cooking with a plant-based meat because it will stick. So just going to add a little bit more oil, because adding the oil as you cook doesn't necessarily make it greasier. What it does is that it gives it more of the caramelization that you would get when you're cooking with real meat. Sorry, I kicked the tripod. Like I said, new equipment. But this is going to give you more of that flavor that you're looking for. And with the meat in, I'm going to, and by the way, even when I'm cooking plant-based, you'll always hear me refer to my protein as a meat. Going to add another teaspoon of seasoning. Complete does it all for you, so you don't have to go salt, pepper, thyme, rosemary, oregano, any of that. Any and all of that is going to be in your Complete, hence the name. And I'm going to reach for my spoon here. And give a quick taste. See if it's the flavor that I'm looking for. I want a complete bite. So I'm going to get a pepper and an onion. And that will do it. And now that our seasoning is complete and our filling is done, usually you see it with the cheese cooked in it, but we're going to save that as the topping for the boats. So when we come back, you'll see me do the build. The build is how you set up your meal. It's either set it up to be baked or set it up to be served. So get used to the lingo I use. OO, olive oil, VV, vegetarian variety, the build. That's going to be how you set it up for your presentation, whether you're serving it or setting it up to go put it in the oven to cook. So stay tuned for the build and for the presentation. See you soon. And we are back. Cleared away our skillet, put away our seasonings that we're done with, and pulled our filling, cheesesteak filling, from the bowl, from the skillet I mean. And now we're going to go ahead and work on the build. The build, as I said, is the setup. What you do, how you set it up to basically cook it and or eat it. And it does get a little messy, so you need two hands. But basically, you're going to take your filling and you're going to scoop it into each half. More than likely, you will have filling left over, which is perfectly fine because you can use it in a low-carb wrap, or you can have a Philly cheesesteak salad. That's one of my favorite dishes. And you want to get these guys sitting side by side so that the zucchini bits are touching. Why? Because that will allow you to overlap not only the filling, but the cheese. Now me, because I'm greedy, I didn't have much. I didn't have much left. So that's being tested now for quality control. Yep, I'm eating it. And it is good. And now we're gonna take our mozzarella shredded and we're going to pile it over. Now, if you're a vegan, you can choose to make this dish completely vegan by using the analog, that's the meat substitute, as well as your vegan shredded cheese options. I am a lacto-ovo vegetarian. That means I do the analogs, the meat substitutes, but I still consume some byproducts, some animal byproducts. Cheese, eggs, yogurt, and lactose-free and fat-free milk. But lately I've been switching more to the nut milks. I found a dairy-free option that I absolutely love. It is almond and cashew blend, and it is the Silk Protein. I will give you a review on that coming up in the future. But this is our build. And me, I like to take a little bit of Italian seasoning. And sprinkle right over the top. That's our build. So we're going to take him and we're going to pop him in the oven on broil. Hi there. Yep. Welcome back to the top side. But we're going to rotate around and you'll see me place this in our oven on broil high, and you want to watch it. I would set just a 2-minute timer. And watch it go. And while that's happening, I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. And we are back. This guy is getting sexy. I've been keeping an eye on him, and we got about 30 seconds left. I wish you could see it closer, but I'm not going to mess with this camera. I just got it. I'm new at it. 18 seconds to go. And I'm going to go ahead and open up. You can get a little bit of a peek. And we're going to go ahead shut him down. And we're going to come around in just a second to give you the final viewing. And wait until you see him. Is that not amazing? I have to go work out before I can eat, but I want to eat that now. Him sexy. So today we have made I can't even talk, I want it so much. We've made the cheese steak zucchini boats. And we've debuted a new piece of computer equipment, new camera. Thank you for putting up with my amateurish movements of it. And lastly, we have seen the easy and quick minimal ingredient prep of how to have your cheesesteak and eat it too. This has been Lala, the Shrinking Lady, signing off on a very fabulous life. Please, please, if you've liked what you've seen, hit like and share, and don't forget to subscribe. Until then, stay fabulous, all my lovelies.